Welcome back. In the 2000s, Hannah Montana ruled the after-school airwaves and launched some pretty incredible careers.
Yeah, it sure did. Alongside Miley Cyrus, Jason Earles was the brother we both wish we had and were glad we didn't. Now he's taking fans behind the scenes to share the laughs, the chaos and the stories you've never heard. With chart-topping hits, sold-out tours and Disney Channel mania to match, Hannah Montana became one of the most defining shows of its era.
You get the best of both worlds. Chill it out, take it slow, and then you rock out the show.
Led by breakout superstar Miley Cyrus, alongside her real-life dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, the series followed a teenager juggling schoolwork by day and a secret life as a global pop star by night. And stealing scenes at every turn was her hilariously lovable brother, Jackson, the annoying, overprotective sibling who sometimes wanted to be anything but just that.
And until then, your brother can drive you around.
No, 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 no. Why? You.
Played by Jason Earles, Jackson brought the heart, the chaos and the physical comedy across 4 seasons and a blockbuster film.
Hi, I'm Miley. Now I'm Hannah. Now I'm Miley. I'm a real girl. I'm a pop star. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Except for me, because I'm perfect.
Now, 2 decades on, Jason's launching a new project, Best of Both Our Worlds, the official, unofficial Hannah Montana podcast, taking fans behind the curtain of the Disney juggernaut all over again.
I don't know. I think it makes me look a little big around the hips.
Daddy, he's finally cracked.
That's great stuff. The hilarious Jason Earles joins us live from LA. Hello.
Hello, sweet niblets. How's it going?
You're fabulous. You are calling this the unofficial, official Hannah Montana podcast. What kind of behind-the-scenes secrets are you ready to spill?
Yeah, well, the 3 hosts for the show, there's myself, who's on the show, there's Douglas Danger Lieblein, that's his real name, unfortunately, who was one of the co-executive producers and writers, and then Shannon Flynn, who was the acting coach and a recurring director. It's the 3 of us basically sitting around talking about the shows from all of our different perspectives. We got a little how the episodes came about from the Writers Network side, we got stuff from the rehearsal process, and then us goofing off on set. So it's just kind of any angle you could attack it from. We're just going to goof off and make fun of each other and tell stories about it.
Oh, that sounds terrific. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years since that first season.
Wow.
When you look back, did you realise what you're on, how big this would be?
No, we had no idea. I mean, I thought that the show was special and we thought that people would think it's funny, but it was around the time that President Obama invited Miley to the White House to roll Easter eggs with his daughters that I was like, oh, I think maybe the show is popular. I think the leader of the free world is like inviting her to his house. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's on the map. One thing that fans are always shocked to learn is that you're actually 29 years of age. You were playing Miley's brother, and she was a lot younger than that. She was 13. How did that feel on set?
It was fun. I think anybody that's like been married to a guy and spent any time with them realizes that we get to about 16 years old and our senses of humor just stop. That's about as mature as we ever get. And so it was just, I mean, it was a perfect excuse to act as silly and immature and dumb as I wanted to. So it really wasn't awkward at all, as crazy as that sounds. It was just fun.
Okay, so Jackson was often the butt of the joke with all the physical comedy and the pratfalls and the disasters and the wild schemes, all of that. Did you love doing that kind of comedy, and did you walk away with a few battle scars?
Yeah. I've always gravitated towards comedy. Like, I did theater all the time I was growing up and through college, and comedy was always my favorite. And while I'm a terrible dancer, there is like an internal music that happens inside of me when it comes to physical comedy. Like, everything just sort of flows right. And so I love doing that stuff. But 20 years later, I I wake up a little creaky in the mornings because of some of the bits we did on the show.
Hey, what was the best Disney perk at the height of all that mania? Like, was there free park passes or concert tickets or something better?
Yeah, I think probably the coolest thing I ever got to do was when Miley was doing her giant tour as Miley and Hannah Montana. I got to go backstage, and there was one concert where literally 3 seconds before she ran under the stage and shot up to start, singing, I was back there. She ran up and gave me a big hug, and I told her to have a good show. And that was literally like 7 seconds before 40,000 people were screaming her name. It was wild.
What a moment. Hey, now, fans are buzzing about the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special being hosted by Alex Cooper. Should we hold out for a Jackson cameo? We're hanging on.
What's funny is I don't really know a ton about all of the plans for that. Things happen all the way up to the last minute. Things change. I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole thing and put together as well. I hope it's a huge treat for the fans. I'm hoping that there's some deleted stuff that even I've never seen before. I think it should be a really fun celebration of Miley and the show and all of the silly things that we did over the course of 101 episodes.
Yeah, and after all these years, is there one sort of behind-the-scenes moment that still has you either laughing or has really stayed with you after all these years?
I pretty much love any scene where Miley and I get to get after each other. All of our little mimic fights where we're, going back and forth. Yeah. We probably do it 20 times in the series, and they're almost always my favorite parts of the episode.
Oh, I can see why. And some of that would have been ad-libbed as well. Was it a bit of improv in there?
Yeah, there was occasionally we would do some silly stuff. There's an episode where Billy Ray and I are pranking each other back and forth, and he ultimately tricks me into running through a door and falling into a pool of chocolate pudding. And the scene is supposed to end with me just being covered in chocolate pudding, but I ultimately come back in the room and I ask him for a hug, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then I start chasing him out, and I'm slipping and falling all over the place, and there's pudding everywhere, and everything from the moment I come back in the door is all improvised. But the best part of the scene ended up in the episode as well.
Great stuff. Hey, lovely to talk to you this morning, Jason. Thanks for making the time for us. Jason Earles' new podcast is called Best of Both Our Worlds, the official, unofficial Hannah Montana podcast. It is out March 17th.
And we do have to note the T-shirt. The T-shirt he stole from on set. He said, there it is. You actually wore that on the show?
Yeah, this was my parting gift to myself as I was leaving the last day of shooting. Went to wardrobe, stole my official Rico Surf Shack T-shirt, and it's my pride.
Expect a knock on the door from the cops. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Jason.